So on this all-in-one pump unit, Hermitage is going to be a little bit different. This is your wash-down pump, okay, for spraying the bay down at night. We have two pumps, high-pressure pumps. These are 20 gallons a minute, 1,000 PSI maximum. Two pumps are working together to do three functions. The triple thread, it's a lot easier, okay? Now, on the back side of your new, you're going to have a switching valve. So you're going to have one pump going to the fixed rocker blaster. The other pump is going to that switching valve, and it's going to switch from this angle to that angle. This angle for the back tire, that angle for the back tire. So it's just going to control which way the flow goes. It eliminates this here. Here we're using Series 1 way back when, high pressure electric solenoid valves. Then we switched, and I think Spring Hill has the pneumatic valves, Valve Works, and those were failing on us, even though it's 1,000 PSI rated valve. So that's why now we've changed it yet again. So these two pumps are doing three functions: fixed rocker blaster, flipper 1, flipper 2.
And that's going to be different from what we have?
Now you're going to have one pump going to fixed rocker blaster. The other pump is going to alternate with the valve on the back between front angle and back angle for the wheel. This is your high pressure rinse pump. 20 gallons a minute, 150, 175 pounds of pressure. This is your regulator. That's your air compressor auto draining. We had it at this site. We didn't notice it, but it was no longer auto draining. And in that auto drain, it got built up with sediment until a Saturday came. That hose going to that auto drain valve rubbed, wore through. We had like a silly willy hose whipping around this room, got all over our 480 service coming in. The entire site was down, including the gas station, Tim Hortons, etc. Okay, so it's all those systems. Is my auto drain working? Just being very knowledgeable of every system, and as you're walking the tunnel daily, is this working? Is that working? Do I notice any changes? We had it the first time we changed the air compressor oil. Rick came in the morning, changed the air compressor oil. It was at this site at 8:30. We got a phone call. The equipment's running. We got no soap. No soap. Boom. 911. I'm here. Rick's here. And we're like, what? What changed? What did we touch last? I changed the air compressor oil. We run up to the air compressors. We got no air pressure. I'm like, where's the manual? Oh, it's at home on my desk. There was a limit switch. Well, there's a low-level oil switch on there. So when you drain it, after you drain it, you gotta add oil and reset it. That's simple. Why that's important is all of our valves, solenoid valves on our detergent pod are actuated. So we couldn't open up any valves. All right, regulator right here. Here is a Y strain. I'd say a couple times after you open, check that. Okay, we drill those tanks upstairs. Even though we vacuum them out, there may be some fine polyethylene in there, and you're just going to clean that out.
Otherwise, you're going to end up with it in a nozzle.
Otherwise, it will go with a nozzle. You still may see some in a nozzle.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, but if they had down in Spring Hill some of that, and it actually made it into one of the barrel nozzles, and it looked like a fingernail.
Yes.
And it was stuck in there, and it screwed them bad.
Yeah.
Because it was allowing backflow into the system, and the system was like kicking that off, and it was
Simplest thing. This is your Grundfos pump, German made pump, built-in VFD, so its own variable frequency drive. This is a pressure transducer. We want to maintain 200 pounds of pressure for consistent detergent delivery on our pod system. If this goes down, you're at probably city pressure of 50 pounds. It'll be unbelievable how bad it is to try to wash a car. Nothing is consistent. So, very, very important pump. If I want to up pressure, down pressure, it's very basically up arrow, down arrow.
How can you tell what it's currently set to?
On the pod itself, there are two pressure gauges.
Okay.
So, again, maintaining throughout the day, you're doing your walkthrough. Oh, I'm checking my pod pressure. Am I at 200 pounds of pressure? Okay. get that set from the beginning. So that is high pressure all-in-one pumping station. Johannes, would you be willing to turn on the conveyor for me?
The conveyor?
Yes, please. While we're back here,
You have 2 MCCs here?
this is all VFDs. We have VFDs on
Got
every
it.
blower here.
Yep.
This unit is fed by more than one source of energy. Potential arc flash hazard. Do not let anybody go in here. You're really better off taking your rings off. Nothing metal, no metal coffee mug like me.
But he's gonna show us what not to do here.
So this is where you got your 480 coming in, your potential arc flash. The reason I had them turned on a minute, right here we got our data cables coming in. That's our input card.
Yep.
These are outputs. Number 9 is blinking. That is my pulse. We'll also be able to, if I stood back here, when we block the tire sensor, that would light up. When we block the gate, measuring length of car, another input would light up. So if you remember that screen I showed you, what did it say? We are using number 10 input. Why is number 9 blinking? Number 9 is blinking because on the input card, they start numbering at 00. Okay. On the iPad, on the controller, we start numbering at 1. So there's always a difference of 1.
That just shows that engineers are not talking to each other.
Correct. Exactly.
Because you should be using 00 on
Yes.
your software.
Yes. So I got a very, very consistent pulse there. I'm very happy with what I see. I can also look at it out in the pit and on the back of the pulse sensor, so blinking light as well. But I've had it before where my light's blinking, I got nothing here. Okay, I got a wiring issue between the two, or I don't have a wire problem.
Blinking out there, but not back.
But not back
So what's
here.
this Amber Surcom here?
No idea.
Okay, I'm just gonna go. It's nice to use this as for people that don't have freaking cheaters.
Yep.
I mean, I would have expected green, but amber always concerns me. So, if we have some sort of arc, what are we supposed to do from like a PPE standpoint when if we need to open this up? What's the actual procedure that should be followed?
You should only have a licensed electrician in this cabinet.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
PLC outputs. So all of a sudden, oh, I need CTA 1. I need front pre-soak. It's going to turn all these different outputs on based upon how we program them in the iPad. Coming from there, we're coming into these relays. If I manually want to turn on an output, I could just flip that relay down. I have no idea what I turned on. They don't have their list here. I always recommend having a list of outputs. If you look at the bottom of this relay, this is a 305. That's going to correspond to output number 305 on your iPad. Okay? Each output is individually fused, so you can blow a fuse as well on that output. Here are all of my motor starters and motor disconnects. If you look real close at this screw here, that's a variable amperage setting. We had it here where the conveyor was down. Busy Saturday, we just opened up. The first month we opened up, conveyor won't run. Everybody is here. We can't figure it out. Got my electrician on the phone. Our controller guy says, oh, we had the amp for the disconnect set too low. Little screwdriver turned it up. Michael is a good resource. You can ask a lot more. That was a good little overview. I've had it before on my CB1 trip. site, I had it actually 2 sites in one weekend. On a Sunday, well, one on a Saturday, the next one on a Sunday with the same issue. So I called Scott Blauschek and said, you know what? That happens more than once a year, it's a problem. But it was just that simple little breaker. Wash won't run. Let's check where our power source is coming from. Inside here, we never want to start 2 motors at the same time in the tunnel. So you can do it that way. You can use VFDs. Okay, VFD again, variable frequency drive. We're ramping up the blower motor slowly and then ramping them down. Here's our VFD for our conveyor. Right now we're set at 72 hertz. So if I need to change that acceleration time, I actually come back here and program it. I can't change that from the iPad. I have to physically come back here.
So I don't believe we have a big cabinet of VFDs. So what do we have?
Do you have blast gates or not?
Do we
No.
have,
A blast gate on your blowers? No. That's another cost saving measure.
I think we do.
Okay, it's a big silver can on the back.
Yeah,
has an air filter. It's like a butterfly valve on a car. So when that's closed, your amps drop. And then it opens up.
One at a time, they'll sort of slowly open.
Yes.
So it's a mechanical VFD, is that correct? Got it.
A lot less cost up front. Rivertown, our new site, we have a combination of blast gates, no VFDs at all, but then we'll also control our start times on our blowers. The reason, they'll determine your electrical rate based upon the largest 15-second demand throughout the month. Here we have motor cages right on hand. This one's already set with new bearings ready to go. So we always have a set of these on hand.
Those are for like wraps.
Wraps and huggers. They use the same motor
Got it.
cage. Okay, you can buy one fully built. Okay, with bearings, with a motor, with a stub shaft.
At least we know that's working.
Here's a stub shaft. So that's this bottom side here. So we got the motor has a keyway in it. That motor will just drop right inside the stub shaft. On the bottom of the motor, we put a torque plate. The torque plate keeps that motor from spinning freely inside that motor cage. That torque plate will come right here. We'll put a 9/16 bolt through. That will keep that torque plate down so that motor cannot fall out. And we'll do that at the warehouse this afternoon. So, all right, let's continue our journey. We just put spot 3 on the car. This is an area where I'm going to be spending a lot of the time during the day. I'm going to be watching wash quality. I'm going to be watching different wash packages. I don't always want to watch just the top, the works. I want to watch some qualities as well. Am I getting the rims clean? I may, once the customers pass, go down and slide my finger. If I'm getting brake dust off with my finger, we didn't do our job properly. If it's stained, okay, I understand that. So I'm going to watch a car from the beginning of the tunnel all the way through because I want to notice how many bugs were on the front end. How did I do on those bugs? Is it acceptable? How dirty was the car? Okay, I might even follow that car out to the vacuums. Hi, how are you today? I'm my first time customer. Anything? Here's my car. I'm the site manager. Build that relationship with that customer. Is that car beating up properly? Okay, we just apply drying agent. If that car is flat, I could have a chemistry issue. I could have a plug metering tip on my drying agent. Now we're coming into the blowers. We have 16 blowers here, 18 at our new site. We will run a 1, 4, 4, 5, 2 on a 16 blower layout. When we add 2 more, we go on the back side of the heated blowers and add 2 more. This one on the top will do about 70% of the work. We want to make sure that we don't have conflicting air, that 2 blowers are coming down. that that water doesn't know what to do, okay? We have measured these angles, left to right, front to back, and we're trying to copy that at all sites now when we install them. So you see this has got quite an angle on it. Okay, if it was just straight down, it'd be throwing that water all directions.
The last ones are more straight down.
Those are more towards the back end here a little bit. We'll get even more aggressive at the other side. But we want that water to move from the front of the car to the back, from the center out, and from the top down is our goal. And we want to keep stripping it, spreading it out, spreading it out. These are basically straight down the side, but with a little tip. As you watch a car, that water will peel right off that side of the vehicle.
I'm passenger side here.
Then we come to our dry huggers. Air cylinder, they're normally out. When a vehicle comes, the dry hugger will come in. It'll wipe the back side of the passenger driver's mirrors and then come back out. It's not intended to dry the whole side of the vehicle, just to get that mirror clean. Then we have the heated blowers, 2 1 million BTU furnaces each. On a busy day, you'll really notice the benefits because the ambient temperature in the room will increase. All of these blowers are intaking hot air, which aids in the drying process. Here are our 4 flags and our pulse sensor. You will see it start here in a minute.
Couldn't have been any better timing.
See the light on the backside, blinking light?
Can tell if that's a bit I'm smaller or you like that's great.
Oh, okay.
Trying to let that go, are you?
So my TV
Looks like some of these have been replaced. Is this did you guys actually initially install these as black?
Yes.
Okay, so these are probably the original ones that were here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
For some reason I was thinking they were gray originally.
Fire gloss unit. Using a flow jet to bring the product out here. It's an air-driven pump. You can control how much product you bring out here based upon how long you run the pump and at what air pressure.